Right, here's the previous Rebbe. He's talking about his father, who his father was the Rebbe Rashab, the Rebbe Shalom Dober, the fifth Rebbe of Chabad. The previous Rebbe was the sixth Rebbe. It says in 1887, my father, the Rebbe Rashab, the Rebbe Shalom Dober, he was elected to be the Gabbai, the official, the sort of the president of the Chevre Kadisha, the president of the treasurer, whatever, of the Chevre Kadisha, of the Holy Society. As was customary, he was led on Simchat Torah in procession to the shul, accompanied by a lot of people. At that time, he said a mimer, which began, Ein HaKodesh Baruch Hu, Ein HaKodesh Baruch Hu, the initials, that God does not come with impossible tasks. The conclusion of this mimer was, even the greatest minds, let me get this thing over here. Even the greatest intellects who are here, you have to put aside your intellect and your genius and your Torah knowledge and not be ruled by reason or knowledge, because they can be susceptible to be misguided by your intellect to the point that the end can become a bitter one. I mean, what's he talking about? Again, I have to bring this example. It's brought in the Torah, and I probably, for this is the only good reason why. There was Yerovam ben Nevat. There was the biggest genius in Israel. This was in the time of the first temple. And he was chosen by God. God sent a prophet to him to tell him to take the 10 tribes of Israel and separate them. There was a reason for it, to separate. He became the king of the 10 tribes of Israel. That was called Israel. And the other 2 tribes, which was Yehuda and Benjamin, that was in the southern part of Israel. That's where the temple was. And that was called Yehuda. And that was it. He was a genius. He was amazing. He was holy, religious. He was chosen. And all of a sudden, he got this idea in his mind that in order to sustain the situation that God made, God wanted him to be the king, and that he had to prevent people from going to the temple. Because if they did, they maybe would stay there. It would weaken his government. It would weaken his thing. And God doesn't want his government to be whatever. He made excuses. And he eventually, from his own genius, intense intellect, he made 2 golden calves. And he convinced all the Jewish people to worship them, all the 10 tribes. It says, if you're misguided by your own intellect, and he was sure that he was right. He was 100% sure that he was right. And obviously people came and asked him, are you sure this is right? And he had answers. Because a person could use his intellect to do exactly the opposite of what God wants. It says, nowadays, in the times of the Moshiach, don't follow your intellect and reason alone. You have to do Torah and the commandments completely with simple faith in the God of Israel. Because you must use your intellect, but your intellect has to be subservient to your servitude to the creator of the universe. I'm going to serve God no matter what. No matter what. I'm going to put on tefillin. I'm going to keep Shabbat. It doesn't make any difference if everybody else around me is not doing it. And if you lose your business and if you lose your business, I'm going to do what God wants. Then you use your intellect to understand how to do it in a way, in the best way possible, with the least amount of danger. But you have to do it. Okay, now story. Let's see, we'll have a story.